welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making a wonderful puff pastry, a Mexican puff pastry. Step by step, I'll explain how I do this. So I start off putting some olive oil in a pan, get it hot, and I start with my onion and my minced garlic, and then go ahead and allow this to begin cooking. That's my first step. As soon as it's cooked a little, I can proceed with the next step. So I start with my next step, and I go ahead and put my ground beef in. I break it down. I'm using 85-15. You can use whatever you'd like. Go ahead and cook this down and add the spices. So what I'll go ahead and do, as soon as I have that in there, start adding my salt to taste, my pepper to taste. Then I add coriander. Then I add oregano, and that's all my spices for right now. I begin the process of cooking it down, and I can just wait for the next step. So we're ready to make our tomato sauce. We go ahead and put some whole tomatoes into our blender. Then we put a bit of the chipotle adobe sauce in. It gives it a great flavor. And I'm just eyeballing just for flavor, and then we're ready to blend it. When we blend this together, we'll go ahead and take it over to our meat and add that in. Okay, we're ready to go ahead and add in our tomato adobe sauce, chipotle. We add that in there, mix it, and then allow it to begin cooking the rest of the way, and we're going to add our veg in just a minute. So we're ready to add our veg. I'm going to add bell pepper into our sauce. I'm going to add small cuts of potato and some corn. We mix this all together, and we want to cook this all the way through until it's reduced all the liquid. So we're going to just move this around, let it cook, and as soon as all the liquids cook down, we are ready to move forward. Once we have our meat ready, we're ready to move forward and to create our puff pastry. I'll be making squares here out of each of my puff pastries. I made this, and I purchased this already ready, and so I'm going to make a bottom, a top, and then for an added benefit, I'm going to make a lattice on top. And step by step, I'll tell you how I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my puff pastry. I'm going to eyeball as best as possible. I'm going to cut up in squares. Then I'm going to do the same here. And then I'm going to place another puff pastry on top. So go ahead and I flipped it over so I make sure that I have the exact same size. And I'm going to make my lids for my puff pastries. So I go step by step here and make my lid. Some will come out larger because I eyeballed it, but that's okay. Now, as we do this, we're ready to move forward and add in our ground beef. So we move forward, we have everything cut. We'll go ahead and get our ground beef mix. We'll get a scoop of each, and we'll place it directly in the center. Once we've done that, we go ahead and get our lids, and we place them over, and we crimp the sides of each of these, and then we will move forward to make our lattice for each of these. I finished that all. I'm going to go ahead and create my lattice. just crimp this here to make my lattice. Ahead and just place our lattice right over. You cut the excess off and you crimp the rest with a fork. And so you just go ahead and place it on top, cut the excess off, and then we grab our fork and we just crimp the edges all the way around each one. So we go ahead and after we put our lattice, we go ahead and whip an egg together, and we're going to cover it with our eggs here so we can get a nice shine. And then when we're done with this, we go ahead and we place our mix that I created to go on top. And what I place on top, what I did is I made with breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, and queso cotija. Go ahead and place it on top so it sticks on top and becomes really nice and crispy. For an added punch, you can add a little bit of jalapeno on top, and that's it. Put it in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 minutes, and we're ready to move forward. So they are out of the oven, golden brown. Once they're golden brown, you know they're ready. Allow them to cool a little bit. They're still a little warm. Let's go ahead and take a bite and see how this is. It's delicious. Try making this at home. It'll be a hit for sure.